Europe, the UEFA region. What do you got going on here? This is a region that still is not finished. A lot still to be decided in this region.
Now, this one is complex, Roy, but complex not because of the way it's in Africa, because of breaking the rules, because the team's dropping out. It's because Europe loves to make things very complex. It's what they do. So there's a lot of weird situations here. The biggest one being the green means that you're going to qualify automatically. You'll see on the screen, not many surprises there. The interesting thing is blue is second place, which means you'll qualify for a playoff, but you also have a chance to qualify for the playoff if you are the highest ranked Nations League team left that's not already qualified. It's very confusing. It's a little complicated. Yeah. It's not even the highest ranked Nations team. It's like the highest ranked Nations League team from your division.
I'll show that graphic in a second. This is the first set of groups. I want to show the next set of groups. So what do you got to say about this set of groups before we move on to the next set of groups?
Yeah, I mean, the stories here you got to say are, look at Germany there. They've really struggled. It's been an up and down. They lost, of course, the game to Slovakia. They barely beat Northern Ireland. So they've really struggled. And this is a team that we thought was on the come up. Things have been tricky. The other big storylines here, Spanish dominance, certainly. And look at that Denmark-Scotland group. Scotland, a team that's so heavily supported. And yet they always seem to fail in the big moments. This is a Scottish team that has done incredible things so far in qualifying. They've tied Denmark. They've beaten Greece. They've been incredible. Not only are they on the cusp of making sure they secure a playoff spot, but they still have a chance to win this group, which is very impressive. Scotland has a real shot at being in the World Cup. It's a great time to be a Scottish fan. The other thing you got to look at is in Group B, look at how good Switzerland has been, but look at how bad Sweden has been. This is a Swedish team that we were very excited about because of who they have up front, because of the young talent they have. And yet they've really struggled. They still have a chance to get invited to the Nations League, but they've been in the doldrums. They really have no way of getting in automatically now. But Kosovo, that's a team that has a shot at the playoffs. So those are the interesting storylines here. But you'll see the green team's not super surprising, guys, who's in top.
I know Greece is making us look bad and Sweden's making us look bad because we did videos on them and said they are the future and not the present, apparently.
Sweden's shocking, man. It's really disappointing to see Sweden sink to such levels in a relatively easy group. They got the luck of the draw in this one. I would say it's probably the weakest group aside from Group A, with less of a powerhouse at the top. So for them to be at the bottom of that group shows that this generation of Swedish players just isn't it.
They're just early for them. Isak is such an incredible player. It feels like the moment has come too soon for this team.
Sure.
The other team we want to talk about, is your guys, now Northern Ireland. They're in Group A. They've been really impressive. They're likely going to get a chance, even if they don't get second, to get in via that Nations League. Interesting young team.
Interesting young team. I just want to say, everyone who is a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal will soon be into the World Cup. All right, moving on to the next set of groups here. There is one team here that has made it, Rahi, already. It's coming home, apparently.
It's coming home. So, boy, have they
looked... only team that's made it so far.
Thomas Tuchel, the new manager of England.
Incredible.
And things have been rosy. Very, very business-like, professional. They've already qualified for the World Cup. And hey, don't look now. For all you fans of all other teams, England is legitimately a favorite to win the World Cup. This is a real favorite, and they can very well do it. And if they do it, we'll never hear the end of it. But it's possible. They look very, very good. Here, the other team we got to talk about on the screen, guys, is the emergence of Norway. This is a team that's so talented. You know, Erling Haaland, of course, the talisman, but they got talent all over. Antonio Nusa, Odegaard. Man, look at that point total. And what's not on the screen is their goal difference. There's something like plus 20 goal difference. They have been incredible.
Yes. And I tried to be unbiased, so I didn't wear their shirt, but I've become a big fan of the Norwegian team, of course. But Rahi, you're wearing a shirt. You know, you didn't talk about the team that the shirt you're actually wearing over there.
Croatia has been businesslike as well, been professional, and it's because the 40-year-old Luka Modric continues to defy the odds. Looks so young, so incredible. This team is the same as they've always been. They're talented in the midfield. They're technical. They fight like hell. This is a team that you're going to have to be careful of because look at what they've done in the past 2 World Cups. They have a World Cup final. They have a World Cup semifinal, 3rd place game in their books. Silver medal, bronze medal. So Croatia's just going to be there. You know it.
Yeah. One team you didn't mention, Rocky, and I'm surprised, is a team that has been failing time and time again as a nation in World Cup qualifying. We have not seen the best of this team for over a decade now. That is Italy.
Yep.
We are seeing Italy in a position where they could, after 2 World Cups, finally return to the World Cup. And that is an incredible thing for this nation. That is an incredible thing for the Italian people. They're going to have a very hard time. That drubbing against Norway was a complete shock to me. I'm sure it was a shock to the world because it's Italy. Has been and always will be. It's a rough 10 years, but my goodness, to see them at the World Cup again would be magnificent.
They're going to have to do it the hard way, though, probably.
They love to do it the hard way. They've had some tough playoff exits in the past couple of qualifications.
They haven't been doing it the hard way or the easy way. They haven't been doing it, period. But this one feels slightly different. They're not playing incredibly well, but they have to win every remaining match and hope that Norway slip up or drop points. But it doesn't seem like Norway is going to slip up or drop points.
It's not. So let's get to now what you mentioned, just finishing it off. This is the complex Nations League backdoor way that Europe has a way of getting in. And there's been some if those of you who haven't heard, Rahi, are you going to talk about the San Marino situation? Are you going to touch on that? Otherwise, I'll touch on it. But
no, you touch on it. Go for it.
Okay. So here's the way that this table works, guys. So basically, as you look, as Rahi talked about, there's a Nations League backdoor way of getting in. Now, if you look at the teams in yellow, likely all of those teams are going to get through. Of course, Norway has to not slip up against Estonia, and then they would get through. That means Wales is guaranteed to get into the playoffs. Czech Republic is right now in 2nd place. So let's assume that Czech Republic gets 2nd place in their group, right? That would leave Romania and Sweden here in these positions. You look at North Macedonia, Northern Ireland, and then here's an interesting situation. So Romania is right now in 3rd, hence they're in this group here. San Marino is playing a game against Romania, right? It behooves San Marino for Romania to do better in the group and get 2nd, because if they do, then San Marino will actually have a shot to get into the World Cup. So San Marino needs to lose in order to help themselves to get into the playoffs. That's how bizarre this whole thing is.
That's what happens when you try and over-engineer this and make this so complicated. I mean, look at this screen. There's E, there's T, X, Q. There's these weird little symbols. Like there's yellow, there's blue. In order to make sense of this, it's insane. To give you an idea, these are the top. You look at the way these rankings. These are the top 4 nations in Division A, then B, then C, then D. So it's so complex. And yeah, exactly what Sa is saying. If you qualify automatically or 2nd place automatically to the playoff, then you don't need this backdoor. So then it kind of changes based on who needs the backdoor and who doesn't. Very confusing. But right now it does seem like it's Wales, Romania, Sweden, and Northern Ireland getting that backdoor way. But things could change. And there's a possibility San Marino could find themselves into the playoff, Roy.
I mean, that would be the smallest country in the world to ever make a World Cup by a long shot.
Yeah.
And it's also probably the worst team to ever make a World Cup if they happen to make it. What is their all-time record? It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's a depressing number to look at. But I think that would be insane if San Marino makes this World Cup over some of these other teams. Imagine over a team like Italy that San Marino sneaks in. It's
they still have to go through the playoffs, so they're not going to be able to beat some of these big teams. But it just would be the fact if they were to qualify for the playoff after intentionally losing to Romania, that would be funny.
that would be a genius thing. Okay, so that wraps up Europe. We'll of course cover Europe in separate videos.